voice is going, y'all. My voice is going. I can't let it go. My voice is going. I literally just got somewhat recovered from being sick, and now that I'm trying to do all these goddamn videos, my voice is literally going out. But I'm sitting here listening to the radio because I got some time to wait on my brother to get out of work. So I just got done talking about love and hip hop, you guys. And now I want to sit here and try to knock out a few of these hot topics that I missed. While I was out of commission, listening to Chloe Halle, this song, like, it really just makes me feel so sad for Halle, because we tried to tell you, oh, why didn't you just listen? Us aunties was trying to let you know, was trying to give you old lady under the tree advice. But, it's hard to compete with pillow talk, That's what they say, it's hard to compete with pillow talk. And DDG want to go around on this. Did y'all see DDG was offering 2 free BBLs? DDG was offering 2 free BBLs. I don't know if y'all saw that. I'm going to have to post a clip of that. And it was looking like some real goals, like it was looking like goals. Y'all know that place that did not try to do, but they did Rolly's liposuction while she was clearly way still overweight, put that lady's life at risk. But DDG now out here talking about he want to fund 2 BBLs. What is going on? This man is literally on a clout chasing, like, desperation trend, because DDG, Halle's a part of Beyonce's camp. So this ain't the type of games that they play. You want some Cardi B Offset type message to go on. Miss B, if you gonna be a part of her crew, you ain't gonna operate that way. So Halle is gonna do exactly what she did, which is slowly but surely deleted all the pics of you and her, and now it's her and the baby. And now here you are out here throwing tantrums, doing dumb shit, like offering 2 free BBLs. I can't. I hope I'm not the only one. I have to find that, and y'all would have to see it. DDG is, as much as he was influential to, like, when YouTube started really popping off, it really does not negate how you're acting in this situation, and how people who are experienced or have lived life know what you were doing when it comes to the situation with Halle. You are giving real, you're my baby mama, I want energy. And you talking about, oh, if I want another kid, I don't want multiple baby mamas, I'm gonna go back to Halle. First of all, who the fuck thinks Halle want another kid with you? For you to even have that thought process and you ain't even talked to Halle about it, is like, he's already feel like he can go back. You see what I'm saying? Like, but this, I wasn't even trying to talk about DDG, but I just thought about it because I was listening to Chloe and Halle. This is how we do it. Y'all, that was a really good album. But nonetheless, y'all, I wanted to get into a few things that I missed, like I said. And one of the things I want to kind of go back and touch on is Pastor Keion, right, y'all? I didn't get a chance to speak on the ignorantness of him. When I tell you, this wasn't even no ignorance, no blasphemy. This was straight up ignorant ass shit, okay? Because that wasn't no pastor talking. Nope, that wasn't no pastor talking. That was what we call a pulpit pimp, okay? Here we go. My brother's calling me.
Incoming call. Press Uconnect phone.
Well, what's up, you guys? The girl G here is bike. Just got done dropping my brother back up home. Guess what? I gotta go back now, out to run errands. I tell you, I want to lay down and rest. I really just want to go home, smoke me a little something, and rest. Okay, but I can't. And you know who else don't rest? Pimps. So let's get back to the pulpit pimp himself, Mr. Keion. All right. So pick it back up where we left off, Mr. Keion, because you know the pimps never rest as long as the money don't. And so it's very obvious that Mr. Keion is looking for donation, because this is beyond the first time that he said anything remotely relating to the Munions. Okay, I remember the first time he was like, I had a prophecy, I had a dream that 21 people were gonna give $2,100, and it was kind of like, that's specific. Where'd the number 21 come from? You know, I just opened the book to page 21, chapter 21. Some BS he said like that. Then, when that didn't get him the money he was looking for, because y'all know he's trying to build this other church. And from my understanding, I heard that that church had like plumbing issues or like flooding issues or something like that. And hopefully this window isn't killing y'all being able to hear me. But yeah, so then it went from 2,100 to, you know what? It was $21. 2,100 people give $21. And then that's when I started thinking like, oh, Pastor Keion, you just another one. You just another pimp in a pulpit. And Shawnee, you got scoped out, you know? Because when you see women who are powerful, have stuff going on, dudes attach themselves to women who's out there moving and shaking. Not to mention, Shawnee got, you know, the ducats herself that can help Pastor Keion. And with all this stuff happening, I really do wonder what Shawnee is thinking in her head. Because she married this man. So, you know, as the first lady, you would think she would want to defend her man. You know, my man, my man, my man. But I'm glad she kept her mouth shut, because Shawnee knows if she just, you know, felt the need to always, you know, defend him, it would make it worse. Like, let's be real. So then we get to the time that he said that, oh, places like Haiti, the reason why they're, you know, not, you know, profitable and, you know, and full of, you know, just life, and everybody so, you know, living in their riches and things like that. And it's because over there they're covered by the voodoo. And you could tell here lately the congregation is starting to be like, huh? Because when he did this last most recent thing, talking about, oh, when you give and you give to the poor, they'll always be with you. You know, the poor will always be with you. But God says the only way you multiply is through your tithes. Sir. And the way he made giving sound like was, you're giving but you ain't receiving. Nah, shit, Sherlock. I think that's kind of the whole purpose of, you know, being a good person, being of the word, quote unquote, or being Jesus-esque like. God never gave expecting to get back. God literally, as y'all, the story goes, died for everybody's sin. That man gave the ultimate sacrifice of his life for nothing in return for other people. So for this man to sit here and really like play on a lot of people's intelligence, and you could tell as he was saying it, it went from, hey, you know, claps and applause to everybody kind of being like, ooh, and you could tell he kind of lost him for a quick second. And he got him back with the, you know, you deserve multiply. And multiply only happens with tithes and offering. And that's what I really hate, when people try to, in a roundabout way, get what they want from you and manipulate what they want from you. In my mind, I'm like, nigga, why don't you just say we got a building fund? Because that's how our church did it. It quite literally, like, there's the tithe and offering, and there's like the building fund. Maybe people ain't donating to the building fund because there's no need for a $4 million church. If you really about that life of preaching the words, you'll do that anywhere. You'll do that in a basement. If you really about, you know, helping people and being of the word and for God. Okay? God said, give and you shall receive. Right? Be good unto him. Love your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor, say neighbor. That's what our church used to be like. Turn to your neighbor, say neighbor, I love you. Hold your neighbor hand and say God be with you, right? And I'm gonna need everybody in that congregation to let you know, look, God is with you, but Pastor Keion ain't. Pastor Keion is looking for nothing but benefit and money off of you if y'all are so, you know, emotionally inclined to. Because if there's something that religious people constantly show, is they are unfortunately loyal to a fault. Oops, sorry y'all, I'm going over some bumps here. So, but thank goodness y'all, I got a new car phone holder, because y'all know the last time on my last phone holder, if I hit any bumps, that bitch was going that thing was gonna drop. Okay. But yeah, Pastor Keion he ain't for y'all, and that's really unfortunate to say, because it's like it takes people a long time to really truly find a church home that they feel is for them, you know, that they relate to and things like that. But I will definitely say that hold on y'all. All right, I'm back. We got a Ring camera installed, so now I'm getting these notifications. It's a person at your front door. I was trying to see if it was my package. I need to quit ordering shit because I know I ain't got the money. But I got stuff I want to get done. But nonetheless, let me turn this call off and not waste no gas. Nonetheless, it's like religion and belief, I think, and spirituality is really starting to reach a lot more people versus Christianity, because at the end of the day, all these different religions really kind of hold the same like foundation of things, which is truly to be do unto others as you want to be done unto you. It's really that simple. But then when you throw, you know, patriarchy in the mix, white men in the mix, you know, because that's where it all started, you know, slavery and making slaves believe in almighty white Jesus, you know, it really, you know, kind of discombobulated what religion was truly intended for, you know. And it's truly to be selfless, and it's to be used for greater. Everybody is meant to be used for greater, for more than yourself, for a purpose bigger than you. But then people use that vulnerability. A lot of times the people are looking for a place to go, looking for a place to belong, which is why these cults and, you know, things like the KKK, when you hear a lot of times about the men who join the KKK, it's like they're looking for something. They're looking for a brotherhood, like somewhere to feel like they belong. And they end up finding these places, and people take advantage of that. But for Pastor Keion to really still be preaching this bullshit, like, ain't nobody clocked his ass, like, I'm gonna need you to take 10 steps back, because whoa, hey, you scooting a little, you got a little too much dip on your chip, Mr. Pastor Keion. That's all I'm gonna say. And I know you seeing the comments. I know you read the comments. How about you take a break from, you know, preaching about what people could get in return for themselves? How about you take a break from preaching about what makes some people broke, poor, destitute, and what makes others, you know, their life full of riches, you know? Because there are people out there who could be mighty broke and ain't got as much money as the rich folks, but are more rich in spirit. The older I have gotten, have started to lean more into spirituality. And because I do believe in something greater than myself. And I do kind of have that battle with, like, because I grew up Christian, and sometimes just be like, you know, oh Lord, or like, Jesus fix it, you know? Like, not necessarily in that it's, oh, I believe Jesus as this man is in charge of things, but just as something greater than ourselves. I think Jesus is everything and nothing at the same time. That's what nuance is about. You know, being all and nothing at the same time. Jesus embodies all of it. But the problem is, you have people who want to take what, you know, religion and belief is truly about and manipulate that to a power that fits only their benefit. And, you know, that really does, you know, that's one thing I've always said about being, you know, a pastor. Because the men that are in the pulpit, a lot of the times, you know, they say like, oh, the person who's a pastor, like, oh, he was called to do it. You know, he was called, you know, the God touched him. And they always like, I'm like, how does that work? How do you know he was called to do it? And it's like, you know, you'll just know when God called you, you know, to be his warrior, like his spokesperson, So in my mind, I'm thinking like, a lot of times, you know, oh, God came to me in a dream because God came to me in a dream and said, you know what? You meant to spread the word. When in all actuality, this nigga was just in a dream with a white man in a sheet that said, go be great. Go be great, Sandlot. You know, and a lot of men, when they just aren't in, you know, touch with themselves and full of themselves and like actually working to better themselves, they use religion to help boost their pride, their ego. That's why a lot of times when you see these pastors, they done the whole front pew of, you know, of church ladies. Because let me tell you something, my church that I went to, grew up in, kind of find out the pastor was taking all the money. Yup, sure was, and his wife was signing off on it. So she knew what was happening. We had one of the most paid pastors in East Texas, and we found out half the stuff was being signed over to him and his wife and everything like that. It was just madness. So Pastor Keion, we see you. We see you. Just to let you know, you ain't, well, some people see you. You know, there's a lot of people who will deny the things that are in front of them, that deny, you know, the reality of the situation that they're in, especially for the sake of, you know, God and following the pastor. But ain't it funny when the pastor up, it's, oh, he's only human. You know, the devil got to him. Oh, the devil got to him while he was humping on Sister Patterson in the choir pew. Is that what you're saying? The devil got inside him and then in her. Okay. I don't know if y'all remember that story when that pastor said he was passing out holy milk. I hope y'all remember that. If there's, drop it down in the comments if you heard the story. It was years ago. And basically, the pastor was sleeping with all the men and women, basically, and was like, you know, passing out his quote-unquote holy milk. I said, get the out of here. When my friend told me that, I was like, That is why, that's why I can't. Go straight to hell, okay? And gasoline draws, the man who did that. But, yeah, y'all, that was my little two-piece on Pastor Keion. Y'all don't get that man no money. He got it. Shiny, you got it. Ask Shiny for it, okay, Keion? Stop playing in people's faces and playing on their vulnerability. Let's go ahead and move on to, speaking of Satan in the mix, let's go ahead and get on to these two little demons, Safaree and Erica Mena. Hey, your girl G here. I'm back. And it might be just a tad bit darker because I've literally been busy all day, not to mention haven't had a chance to even sit down and edit the video that I did of Love and Hip Hop earlier. So hopefully by the time this video is seen, that Love and Hip Hop video will be up. But I am going to continue and speaking about Safaree and Erica Mena in this Hot Topics video. So let's go ahead and move back on into Safaree and Erica Mena. Like, I tell you, if y'all see a little head with beads in this right corner, it's just my niece. She fell asleep in the car. As I'm sure most parents know, when it comes to a baby, when they get in that car, it's lights out, okay? It is lights out. So y'all, she might get cropped out, or y'all might see an arm, a bead, or something. I don't know, but just know it's my niece. One of the people who got me sick, okay, this week. While I'm sitting here trying to play good auntie, wiping her snot bubbles and stuff, and now she got me over here with snot bubbles myself. God dang, I ran through too much tissue this past few days. But back to it. Safaree and Erica Mena. Somebody else probably running through tissue because Erica stayed crying, and you know what was me, and he never is the sacrifice when it came to Safaree. Now, a lot of what you sacrifice with Safaree, Erica Mena, is dignity, okay? Because nobody with true dignity ever gets with a like that, okay? Who can only speak in patois. And I swear to God, y'all want to sit there and talk about homie hopping women and groupie ass women. These dudes like Safaree, who are the real groupies. Like, really, it's a lot of groupie ass dudes out here, and that's the type of time that Safaree be on. How has this man made it to every single last one of the franchises of Love and Hip Hop? make that make sense to me, okay? But Safaree, and not only has he made it to every, you know, franchise, he done the girl on every franchise at that. They literally talked about it after the reunion, like, who slept with Safaree first? Like, But what the other women, Erica Mena, at least was smart enough to do was not walk away with a baby from that idiot, okay? Because now look at the situation you in now. I know y'all had to have seen by now, Safaree got Erica Mena's got they scaling a whole ass brick wall with a ladder I'm sure he probably left out for her to get over the fence with. Like, I'm sure strategically that man said, I'm gonna put the ladder right here to catch her on camera doing some dumb ass shit like this. But you know what I find very laughable in situations like this? Because all the men love to tell women when they in a situation with a messed up baby daddy, well, you slept with him, you picked him. Safaree, you picked her. You picked her. So when you want to sit here and edit this, you know, grand video with proof as well of all the instances of the things that you're describing, you knew all this because Erica Mena was on TV long before we even knew who you were. And we knew the type of time that Erica Mena has stayed, you know, showing the type of energy she's been on since she's been on TV. So let's not act like you went into this eyes wide shut. The problem was when you want to sit there and you want to bring up her son, like, you know, I should have known with her oldest son. It's like, dang, why don't you have your oldest son? And your oldest son even was like, you know, if I had to live with her, I would probably wouldn't be alive right now. You want to throw that out now, whether or not it be true. I mean, I kind of think it is, but it still don't negate the fact that you still nutted in her for a second time. You knew all this and decided to give her 2 babies. So who really is to blame here? Who really is to blame? Both of them, Satan and Satan's twin, are responsible for the madness that is this. But Safaree, where you're not gonna get me like how you get everybody else in this whole bitter baby mama trade of like she's keeping you from the kids and you know she won't cooperate with you. Is Erica Mena difficult? Possibly. Maybe most likely is. But I don't think she's unreasonable when it comes to the parenting of like the guidelines and boundaries of what needs to happen when it comes to those kids. So when you want to pull this thing of like, oh, you know, when the kids are with me, what I do with them on my time, like that's basically like my prerogative. Cool. But you still let the mama know that, because that's what real true communication is. Instead of you trying to pull this like, oh, you know, I'm a dad, do it for my kids, you know, so when they with me, like what happens with me is all right. It is, but like a person who's truly down for communication and trying to make sure they have a copacetic relationship with their baby moms, they would tell her, hey, when the kids are down here with me, I signed them up for this. Okay, I'm gonna put them in that. You know, they're gonna be gone these days. That's true co-parenting, but that's not what you did. Because Erica Mena definitely had the proof of, oh, you were sitting here talking about you daddy of the year, but she got the goddamn calendar, and she's like, well, explain to me how you've only seen these goddamn big-headed ass kids, because from your DNA, the only time that you've seen them is 16 days out the year. Out the whole year, Safaree. So, let's not. Like, let's really not. And I can understand how so many women get so agitated because it's like, y'all get y'all kids for the little meantime, take a few pictures and try to like space them out every month as if you seeing your child every month. And the truth is you're not. You're not. The truth is you're not. And it's just, I know it has to be exhausting, but Erica, this is where I'm about to get on your ass, because at the end of the day, when that man came, you want to send these text messages back to his sister and mama about y'all being in bed naked together and all that type of stuff like that. When that man came back to you trying to beg to be a family and yada yada, what you should have did was turned his ass right back around, because there was no reason why y'all should be back bumping uglies. Like, it really should be no reason why y'all back doing any type of such with each other, because you know where it ends up. That man plays with your snatch and your emotions every single time. Every single time. I want to park y'all really fast because we'll just go ahead and knock out this video. And then also don't have to worry about a bump waking up my niece, okay? And I got some time to kill before I go pick up my other niece and nephew. It's a whole fair going on down here in the town that I went to high school. If you're from, Texas, East Texas, there's this thing called the Jamboree. And so, they're down here. I'm wasting time before I gotta go pick them up probably here in the next 30-40 minutes. So I'm gonna knock out this video and bum off this Wi-Fi from the restaurants. I know I ain't the only one who can find a restaurant with some Wi-Fi and waste some time, okay? Get shit done, okay, without having to purchase something. But nonetheless, back to it. Erica, there's no reason why you should have went back to getting that man. And is it bad that you sent, his mama and sister pictures of y'all naked in bed together? Yes, it probably was out of line, but I guarantee Safaree probably wasn't telling his mama and sister that they were still smashing. It's always like, ooh, she crazy, that girl crazy, I don't even know why she acting like that, man. She's so, got anger management issues, she's so emotional. And it's like, yeah, I hate to be that person, I really do. But every time a nigga say, oh, she crazy, it's like, I know it's like, oh, women can't take accountability for themselves. It's not that. It's that, like, when a woman is acting out of line, what part do you play in it first before I see where her part in it is? Because the only person that benefits from her going crazy and acting all emotional majority of the times is the nigga, okay? He throws her off her game. He distracts her from what she's trying to accomplish. It boosts his ego. It is an emotional pride booster for men to see a girl going batshit crazy over them. They love that stuff, especially when a man ain't got shit going on in his own life. And for Safaree to be coming by the courts talking about he want a child support decrease, it's given the coinage is drying up. It's given the antics aren't working anymore. It's giving, you got a lot of stuff that you need to handle. So let me move to Florida where the Cashapp laws is a little bit different and where you can get some stuff a lot cheaper because that Florida stay flooding, okay? So that's what they give stuff off cheap because this bitch stay underwater, okay? Ooh. Sonic is just gonna always have some good water, I tell you. But yeah, so watching Erica, y'all, when she scaled that wall, like, I just literally was picturing in my mind, first of all, the fact that you was able to drag that big old wagon over that fence, kudos to you, because I know that bitch heavy. But I want to know where her scaling the fence and the video that she posted of her daughter saying Safaree put hands on her son, unfortunately, it sucks because like when people start posting videos of their kids saying stuff, it just starts to get a little techie for me because it's like now you're putting these kids on social media and things like that. And that's what Martell did with Melody Holt. Y'all remember that time he tried to post the kids talking about mommy and he was on live and literally had the kids in the back and was talking shit about Melody, and people on live was like, dude, get out the car, you got your kids. And he finally got out the car, and it's just kind of like when you start bringing the kids into it, it just starts to get real dicey, and it's unfortunate because it is both of them. They're both toxic ass motherfuckers who like to fucking fight. Like, we all know the cycle. But it's very intentional when these men start realizing at some point the woman is not reacting as much anymore. The woman isn't, falling into his traps as much anymore. So to them, it's like, I gotta start leveling up the antics with her to start, getting the reaction that I'm wanting. And Safaree needed that reaction that Erica had that he has her recorded on. Don't make it right, but he needed that because allegedly Erica's like, you tried to file a order on me, you know? But the courts was like, you don't have enough evidence, because she had her receipts of you over here talking about the baby, please take me back, let's be a family again, which we know all niggas do. It's like they impregnate the girl that they want to be able to spin the block on. Shout out to Halle Bailey. Ooh, Halle, daughter, we tried to tell you, okay? But this ain't your segment. But you know, it's like sometimes the girl that they get pregnant is the one that they want to be able to spin the block on and keep maintaining effing up her life. One, out of disliking her, and two, out of understanding what her level is or what she could potentially be and keeping her from that, you know? And not that Erica Mena is just some like all, you know, woman like this, you know, whatever, but men like Safaree, although they want these type of women like Erica Mena who can get these things based off their looks and, you know, have dated the Bow Wows of the world and there is a part of them that loves dissing them and doing them dirty, because it's like, to men, they brag to each other about how dirty they can do some girl, you know? And a lot of the times it's doing dirty the girl who is, you know, up here versus down here. It's kind of a level of like, you know, I don't know, it's something about doing a girl dirty or a woman dirty who's, you know, is up here, you know, who's got her own money, car, like all these things. For instance, Offset, Cardi B, you know, getting a woman like that and constantly doing her dirty, he felt so emboldened to say some shit like, you my baby mama, I won. Like, checkmate, bitch. Like, what you gonna do? Because no matter what, I'm still gonna be connected to you, no matter what you say, you know? And all the things I've done dirty to you don't mean a thing, because guess what? You still my baby mama. And he gets to tell all his homies that Cardi B is his baby moms. And that he was getting over one of the most, you know, popular women in hip hop at one point, you know? And so to see Safaree and Erica back at this shit again, like back around the merry-go-round, back in the circus, shout out to Rodney, the voice, like, it's, I'm exhausted, y'all, but slightly entertained, but I'm exhausted, because it's like, Safaree, it's not a coincidence, like Erica kept saying in her video, it is not a coincidence that the moment you got video footage and editing and everything on Erica, a few days earlier, you was just seeing your ex, Nicki Minaj. And then you posted a video about it. Oh, going to see, you know, Nicki Minaj concert, because you knew people were going to tap into that. Just because of who you are. And you ever notice when all else fails with that man, when he has nothing else going on in his life, he always brings up Nicki in some sort of just like passive aggressive way, or just like real kind of like sneakily way. Because y'all remember that one time when he was with Amar Lenegger, that was one of the reasons they fought. It was because he was saying like, oh yeah, you know, I still have my one love or whatever, and you know, we were together a long time, and everybody knows the only person he was together with for a long ass time was Nicki Minaj. And so that's why Amar Lenegger got pissed off, because it's like, dude, how we together, you still talking about I got one true love, you know, my one true love, you know, the one that got away was Nicki Minaj. He knew that was gonna blow up on the streets because, oh, somebody's talking about Nicki, you know, he missed her, He knew that. He wanted that reaction. That's what got the clicks and views. And so it's like, Safaree's antics are running low. The problem with dudes who give these women to kind of like do these antics with them, the problem with having antics as your income is you gotta think about the next one. And now the next one for Safaree, regardless of the fact that Erica Mena, her actions absolutely are wrong. But we're not going to sit and act like Safaree's not one of those niggas who knows the reaction that she gives is what the public narrative is already about her. So Safaree is poking at that sore spot of everybody, you know, the bitter baby mama, you know, trope or whatever, the narrative. And so, oh, you know, what kind of deadbeat, you know, got to bed for they kid, you know, puts them in camp, and you know, they love their dad, and he's posting a video of like, oh, daddy, we love you, we don't want to go back to mommy's, you know. And it's like we don't know what happened at mommy's, or like what is it about mommy's that makes them not want to go back, you know. It's just, it really is unfortunate because the people who lose in this is those kids. And I do appreciate that in one of the posts that Erica said, because a lot of niggas do this too. And you thinking you're getting back at me and making life hard for me, it's only affecting your kids. And so when you think you're skipping out on me, I know I can explain that absence, but explain that absence to your kids. That's the thing that Erica wrote there, and it was perfect. Like, you think you're getting back at me, but you're not. Like, it's only affecting your kids, and that's what I'm sure is pissing Erica off. Not to mention the fact she's got a dude gaslighting the dog out of her and playing with her emotions. You coming to me saying you want a family back, and by design and program, women are always going to feel indebted to the man that they got kids with to try to work that shit out, so the babies can see mommy and daddy together. But yeah, I just Erica, let it go. Safaree, go find you another woman, okay? Because at this point, like, your kids, come on now, it's getting old. Your kids are getting affected by all of this, and it's madness. And Erica, who knows if they'll let her back on TV or whatnot. Like, who knows if they'll let her back on TV. But the fact that you want to get your child support decreased don't surprise me, because the dudes out here is coming for the money, honey, when it comes to women. But yeah, you guys, enough about them. From one delulu human being to another. Really fast, I just want to touch on Phaedra saying that she's the reason that Married to Medicine was revived. So basically, Phaedra felt like she was the person over there going clear. She felt like she was the medicine over there on Married to Medicine this season. Now let's get something straight, Phaedra. Nothing really increased per se. That went super viral was you. The only thing that really truly just kind of went, ham on social media was you in tandem with Quad, not you per se. And a lot of people tuned in for the sweet tea, Quad, and Greg of it all. That's really what it was. So whatever numbers you saw increased, also increased off the fact of how Toya, not Toya, who was booted from the trip? Quad was booted from the trip. And how Heavenly, low-key threw your ass under the bus. Heavenly said, skirt, doo-doo, on Phaedra's ass. Like, at that table, that's what made the ratings and kind of stuff spike. Not you in particular, Phaedra. So, Phaedra's always had a grandiose idea of herself, And the fact that they brought her back on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I know the season of Real Housewives of Atlanta is fitting to be the biggest crock of shit, okay? I know it is. But y'all dropped in the comments. Y'all think Phaedra, in her words, revived Married to Medicine? Or is she Delulu? Does she need medicine herself? Does she need her psych ward meds? Because I don't know what she talking about. Revived where? You literally came on the show with a boyfriend with a happy emoji over his face, and literally the second to last episode is, I got rid of him. What? Ma'am, we couldn't even get a handhold scene, like a dinner scene, no nothing. Phaedra is so fake as fuck. Like, I can't. But yeah, I don't want this video to get too long. Y'all drop in the comments. Let me know what you think about all the topics we discussed today. Let me know what you feel about Safaree, Erica Mena. Who do y'all think is to blame this time? My little monster is waking up in the back, y'all. Perfect timing. Yeah, tell me what you think about DDG and Halle, what I discussed earlier, and Pastor Keion. Y'all think Shawnee should help her man? Should she come out and make any type of statements, or should she do exactly what she's doing now, shutting the fuck up? All right. I appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch y'all later. Deuces.